Hi, everybody. I'm Laura Burr, and I am the creative director and editorial manager at Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine. And we are here at Glazer Children's Museum because there are a lot of exciting things going on. So we want to bring you live to kind of get a sneak peek at Geek Week, which starts today, and some of the really exciting things that are coming to the museum. So we're joined by Kate White. She is with Glazer Children's Museum. She's also a mom, so she brings her kids here. But let's first of all talk about Geek Week. This is super exciting. A lot of fun activities for the kids.
Yes, absolutely. So we're putting a positive spin on the word geek, and we're throwing out that old jargon. You know, this is a really fun way to learn about computer literacy, to learn coding, to learn all about robotics, and we're doing it all here this week. There's a lot of reasons why we're doing it too. Monday is the Global Hour of Code, which is a really big deal through code.org. You can do this at home. Go on code.org, and they have all sorts of great curriculum, and everyone around the world is logging in on Monday and doing a full hour of coding curriculum. So it's really a cool thing to do, and so we decided to expand it into a week-long worth of programming. Also next week is Computer Literacy Education Week, and Hillsborough County Schools and all of the surrounding schools are celebrating that with their curriculum in schools. So we're just aligning with everybody else and what we're doing to celebrate computer literacy and teach it to our kids in a really fun way.
And a lot of fun things are going on. I know one thing that's kind of a big, especially Christmas gift, I feel like, too, are drones. And you guys have one here so kids can kind of get an experience, a hands-on experience of what one of those is like. And I know we have Craig over here. He's manning our other camera. So let's talk about what's going on.
A virtual reality in real time of what the drone is seeing. So it's virtual reality and also reality simultaneously.
I only see the wall. I don't see that flying thing. Where is it?
You are the flying. You are the flying.
Where is it?
I know it's probably like a little bit of a learning curve, I know, for some kids to kind of see.
It's really fun because you get the sensation that when it's on your glasses and it's your perspective, you get the sensation that if you move your head, it'll change your perspective, but it doesn't, because it's really what the drone is seeing, not what you're seeing, and that's the whole virtual reality piece of it. That's really fun.
That's really awesome. And so for the drone now, we've got with the Codapillar, and Craig is getting shots here. The Codapillar is one of those other really hot toys, I think, for the holiday season.
Yes, this is great for kids of all ages too, because the kid actually is learning to code. It syncs up with apps, and you can do different things to code the Codapillar to do certain things. So you really are teaching the children how to code robots. And you can see next to the Codapillar here, we've got a dot and dash, that the kid with the iPad is actually running right now from an iPad. So these are all things that little kids, as you can see, can start to learn how to tell robots what to do and work with computer programming. And all of that is coding. It's just coding in a way that they don't even realize they're learning these really crucial skills for careers in this technology age that we're in.
That's awesome. And have Craig come in a little bit closer here to see the app here on the computer. Now, is this something that they could buy at home too, right? If they...
Yes, absolutely. These are all affordable robots, so they're all things that you can get for anywhere from $80 to $200, depending on which robot you're talking about. And they come with mobile apps that you can do, so you're programming these things at home with your kids. Or we have all of these robots here, so just come to Glazer.
You don't have to pay for it
anytime, and you can play with them.
So buy the annual pass to come to Glazer Children's Museum, and you can play with it at any time.
Exactly. It makes a wonderful Christmas gift.
That's awesome. We have some other bigger robots here as well, right?
Yeah, we've got a dinosaur you can see, which has been coded to roar and run around and do some fun things, and just different robots, so kids can walk around and see which type is their preference. You know, these are all things that kids can learn how to code themselves and tell them what to do.
That's really awesome. And then, of course, if we can have Craig also maybe move gently over here, slowly but surely. But we've got lots of kids everywhere here, which is great. But you also have the Osmo, which is another experience for kids here at the table, here in the Gadget Garage.
Exactly. So over at the table, you can see different things that they're doing. They've got butcher paper down so that you can draw right on the paper. And there's, to the right there, on the end of the table, you can see like a tractor robot, and it's actually following the path that someone has drawn. All of these things are coding skills. The whole point of coding is to tell a computer or robot what to do, and then the computer or robot does it. That is really the essential definition of what coding is. So we're teaching kids how to do these things, and it's in really simple ways, like drawing a track for the tractor or coding the Codapillar to change certain colors or turn certain directions.
That's really awesome. And again, this is you can come whether it's through your school or you can just bring your kids during the week, but it's only this week, right?
Well, so we always have robotics. We're very excited because we've got a new we're prototyping a new exhibit called Gadget Garage, which is the area that we're in right now. And it will continue to develop as we see how kids interact with robots, and we see what it is that they like to do and how we can best sync in that message for them that really they retain the information. So you can come anytime, and in Gadget Garage, you can play with robots. But we've got all of them out right now, which is a really fun thing to kick off Geek Week, so kids can see all the different types at one time and really see which ones they want to play with.
And something really cool, if we could have Craig pan up here to this artwork, this was donated, right?
Yeah, so this was very generously donated by an anonymous donor, and we unveiled it this morning. We're very excited about it because it is a mixed media piece using all circuitry boards. So it is another thing that just is a visual piece that ties into all of the robotics and the different things that we can do, and how art, of course, ties in with science and STEM.
And this is really cool. I just want to pan back down again to, for those just joining us, we are at the Gadget Garage at Glaser Children's Museum giving you a sneak peek at Geek Week, which started today. But this is kind of cool. So this robot here, or toy, it's...
Yeah, absolutely. So if you watch it here, you can see it following the track that the kids have drawn, and so it'll do what we tell it to. So if you draw a different track, it'll go in the direction that you draw it. It's really a fun design.
That's awesome. And back here again, whoops, we got Codapillars everywhere. You got to watch your step around this place. This is really cool. It really is kind of like a big play area, a big playground.
It is. And we do have a couple other really exciting things we can talk about. So we have the professors at the psychology department at University of Tampa have been helping us develop a custom experience. So it's similar to an app, but it's actually a website that you can just pull up on your mobile device, and we're launching it today. We have one of those professors who developed it here, so we can interview him if you'd like to.
Yeah, that'd be great. And what we can do is, as we're staying on Craig here, and then come back over here, I know we wanted to pull over the app where we can pull it up on one of the laptops, so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like and actually see how it works. And this is cool. I'm just loving this here where Craig is. We have a couple different camera shots here, of course, but seeing these robots in action so kids get an idea of how this works. They can play with robots, but it's learning and having fun at the same time, which is so important. So coming back over here, and we want to pull in the professor, I know. Yeah, that would be fantastic. So again, everybody, we are at Glaser Children's Museum. As you can see from the shots here, we are looking at Geek Week, playing with robots, and this is something that's going to be around here for really for as long. Oh, it got a little bit of a crash here with the. This is great. It's so fun. There's so many robots everywhere. This is fantastic. But we are now joined by one of the professors here who worked on this new app. And do we have a demonstration to kind of show people?
Right now,
Perfect.
Perfect. He's got a lot of the research that went into why.
Awesome.
And he can talk about that first, and then we'll bring in the app.
Perfect. Yeah, so this was obviously research-based. You worked with your students on this. Let's talk about how your research is playing into the museum experience for parents who are going to be bringing their children.
Sure, yeah. I'm a cognitive psychologist at the University of Tampa, and I've been working with Dr. Jeff Skoronik, who's a developmental psychologist. And so we're very much concerned with what goes on in a child's head, how that develops across time. And so what we wanted to do was develop an experience here at the museum to allow parents to interact with their child in a very meaningful way, give them a little bit of knowledge about what's happening in their child's head as they play at the various exhibits, and encapsulate that in an app and our website to allow that to happen.
So let's talk about the experience. How does this all come into play and tie together here? When a parent comes, they can open up this app and...
Yes, it's now accessible via any smartphone. Yeah, it's a website now. We started out as an iPad-only app, but now it's a website, so you can access it with any smartphone. And the app itself isn't all that flashy, to be honest. Because
we have it right here, so we can.
We have a little bit of a robot theme now, so you can build a robot as you do a certain number of activities. You get robot parts you can do. But as I was saying, the app itself isn't all that flashy because we really want the emphasis to be on the exhibits themselves. So what the app does is to provide activity suggestions for the parent to do with their child. And we give them a little bit of insight into what's going on in the child's head. We give them some, if the child's really liking this activity, they're really liking this sorting or categorization activity, we give them some additional ideas for them to do with their child as they're at the exhibit. And it is slightly personalized. We take into account what the child's name and incorporate that into what's going on. And there's a little bit of quizzing, but it really is about getting the parent to interact with their child a little bit more.
Are you able to get a good shot of this so people can kind of see what it looks like, and we'll pull in a bit so that way we can actually see it in action.
Let me just bring it up a little bit. So here's kind of the main screen where you can see the different exhibits. So we have most of the museum covered now. And so say you start out in the Publix area. Each area has 5 or 6 activities. So you can select an activity. Maybe the child really likes to maybe play with the cash register, so we have a money activity. And then it just gives you, again, it's not flashy, it just gives you some text that the parent can read to the child. It does have this robot story, so you're helping Malcolm the robot learn a little bit more about the museum. And once you've done the activity, 3 or 4 minutes with the child, you can then go on, and it will give you a little quiz question to make sure the child is kind of fully engaged, and then move on to the next activity.
That's really cool because it's really just almost like bringing the pamphlet to life in a way of what's available at the museum, but then really
That's
bringing
exactly
in those activities so a parent is teaching their child while they're here.
That's exactly right. And then particularly with my colleague, Dr. Skoronik, as a developmental psychologist, we bring a lot of that knowledge into the app. And so if you really are curious about what does this task doing with where we associate, Publix starts with the letter P, what other foods here in Publix starts with the letter P, like peas and what have you. What's going on in your child's head? How does that come into your child's development as they go from, say, age 4 to 5?
That's really cool. Well, thank you so much, Professor. We really appreciate it. This was great. We want to bring Kate back in here because I know for you all, for this having this here, this is obviously to be able to tie in using a local university, but to make this a better user experience for your guests.
Right, so not only is it a fun experience and a cool way to customize your experience, but what I was really impressed about, when speaking to the professors and doing all the research, they sent in psychology students who came and surveyed kids and did all of this in field testing and followed up 2 weeks later, and it was really interesting to see that the children were retaining the information that they learned at the museum longer by having this narrative customized play experience, and they were also staying and playing at the museum for a longer duration of time while they're here, which is really the goal, right? We want them to have fun, but we also want them to learn without even knowing that that's what they're doing,
And that's what's so great. So again, just for people joining us maybe new to Glazer Children's Museum, what's the age range you're really trying to target when they come here?
So we specialize in children birth to 10. We've got some special areas for toddlers, so the areas that are for 3 and under, so that those kids can kind of have an intimate, quiet experience and don't get kind of plowed over by the bigger kids. But we do a lot of really great stuff for kids in that 5 to 8, 5 to 10 range, like these robotics and things like that kids can get that deeper learning. So we have school group things and programs and camps that really age with the kid, so you can really come back year after year and have a different experience.
And I want to show, Craig, we were just kind of painting over to Botsy here, which is super cool. This is the new logo for the Gadget Garage, and we've been watching just for the past half hour as it's been coming together, but all through Bluetooth, through a computer program.
That's right. So this is really, really a cool program, a cool robot really, we're prototyping here at the museum, and we're going to be having it as a permanent installation. But today we have the inventor of Botsy here demoing it for us and drawing the Gadget Garage logo on the wall for us right now. So it is a vertical printer that draws murals for us, and we have the inventor here, Lisa. If you have a minute, I think it would be great to interview her. Do you have a moment to talk to us about your invention?
Absolutely. Craig, if we could just have you come back over this way and slowly turn around here, because we have Lisa, the inventor of Botsy, which is super cool. You know, one thing you said that I thought was hilarious as a parent, we are using washable markers, just in case, right?
Yeah. So I'm using Creole washable markers. So you can decorate a bunch of stuff for an event, and then after you're done, you just wash it away.
That's really cool. So let's talk about this. How does this work? 'Cause it kind of looks like a printing machine, maybe those like Cricut paper cutting machines, but it's a little different.
So it's similar to 3D printers, laser cutters, and CNC machines, but it's 2D, so it's a lot simpler. So you get a vector file of some kind of artwork, and it has Bluetooth on board. So you upload your artwork, you scale it to the size you want, and then you send it via Bluetooth, and the robot starts drawing.
That's really cool. Now, as a female and as a woman, I'm sure this is great for you to be here to encourage girls to get into these types of careers, these science careers, right?
So my background is as a mechanical engineer, but throughout my life I always done art. So I always had like this battle between art and engineering. And once I graduated from my engineering university, I decided to make a robot for mural artists. So this is a way for girls to kind of get into STEM via art, because that's how I found out about STEM, is through art. So you can do murals or artwork, and you learn about graphic design and how it works, and then you can slowly learn how the robot draws and the technology behind it. And then once you understand that, you can progress to like heavy machinery like CNC machines or 3D printers, and then you can start prototyping and do electronics. So it's kind of like I think of it as a gateway to people who like art but also get into programming and STEM.
They always say STEAM too. They add that A into STEM to kind of bring in the art, because it is so important. It is a very important part of what a child's learning.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And we just want to come back over here if we can switch over to Craig's shot here, because we got the Caterpillar, we have the robots again, and this is kind of cool because we actually purchased this. My kids aren't watching right now. We did get a Caterpillar for him for Christmas, so I'm excited about that, because you want to try to find those toys that are the learning toys, the STEM toys, and but this is awesome. I think we have a young man here who wants to come and talk to us real quickly about your experience so far. What have you? Let's pull in a Craig. Watch, look right over here, and use this shot. We have multiple different camera angles here, so. We're experimenting with some new equipment so that way we can bring you more Facebook Lives like this and really kind of give you an inside look at what's going on here in our community, because we feel that's pretty important to see what's going on, not just read about it, but actually see it for sure. So now we are joined by, what is your name?
Joshua.
Joshua, and how old are you, Joshua?
10.
So what do you think about the new robotics garage?
Well, I think it's a fun way to do all sorts of things like computing and coding, and it's at the same time it's pretty fun.
And what's been your favorite thing so far that you've had a chance to really get your hands-on experience here?
Probably there's a little remote control robot that you can program to do all sorts of things.
Really cool. And for you, are you here on a field trip? Or are you here with your parents?
I'm here with my parents.
And I'm sure they wanted to bring you to Geek Week so you could really kind of see everything, and it's been a lot of fun, right? What would you tell other parents why they should bring their kids?
Because it's a good learning experience, and you can learn a lot of different things here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll let you get back to playing.
And Botsy demo we can do.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see this. Yeah, so we're right over here. We're going to check out Botsy again. This is the mini Botsy. There are a couple different versions of it. So, Kate, let's just talk about what everyone's seeing here right now. What's going on?
Sure. So a second ago you saw the large Botsy drawing the mural on our wall, but there's also a smaller version that can draw on wall, dry erase board, even paper, which is what we have right now. It's glued to the wall, so that way we can just take it down and give it to the kid when he's ready to go. And he's actually working in the interface right now, and he's going to send the image to print, and he'll get to watch it print it in real time for him, and he'll get to take that paper home with him.
And any kid can do this when they come this week, right? Or is this going to be from now on? Is this a temporary exhibit, or is this going to stay?
So this is a temporary exhibit today. It's demoing it out for the kids as part of our kickoff to Geek Week. But it's, in about a month's time, you can stay tuned, and we'll announce when it'll be permanently installed, and then you'll be able to come back and do it anytime. It'll be really fun.
All right, so this weekend, tonight even, there are a lot of things going on. We have the tree lighting ceremony tonight. We got Santa Fest tomorrow. Would you encourage parents to come in, stop by the museum while you're here, right?
Yes, please. I mean, sometimes it's hot outside. Sometimes it's cold outside. I don't know what's going on in Florida. But when you're out and you're having all this fun and stuff going on with Winter Village outside and, the parade going on tomorrow, stop in before or after and see all of the robotic stuff we've got going on. Tomorrow, the lineup for Geek Week is bring in your old electronics, bring in toys, and we'll take them apart. We're going to unmake it, and we're going to see what's inside and what they're made of.
And tomorrow, so I know we said this is temporary, but probably won't be able to do this tomorrow.
You won't be able to do this tomorrow.
You can today if you come by tonight.
Sure, come in today, or just stay tuned, because we'll announce when Botsy is going to be permanently installed and can go live here in the museum, and you can come play with it anytime.
So one thing I'm really excited about as a parent of two little ones who love this museum, by the way, is what you're going to be doing with the space that we're in. I mean, it's already starting to transform. We're seeing that robotics grow. We talked about this months ago, but now to see it coming together, it's got to be pretty exciting for you.
It is. It's very exciting. We've got a lot of, fun irons in the fire, if you will, and what we're doing is really prototyping this area out, because it's important to us that we figure out, we know how robotics work and we know how to teach them, but what we want to know is how the kids are responding to it and what really is working best for kids interacting with each other. So we're prototyping it out so that we can do things like today, and then as we see how it goes, we can alter our plan for how this exhibit is really going to take form.
That's awesome. And so we'll just pan back out. We'll have Craig come over this way. And slowly, I know we're trying not to trip over any robots here, and just kind of showing this whole area of what parents can expect to see when they come back here with their kids. And obviously, this is a really super exciting addition. Anything else that you can maybe give us a sneak peek about what we can expect coming up? We have this, but...
Sure. So Geek Week is a blast. Please come check it out. We've got fun programming all week long, but immediately after Geek Week, we go into full-on holidays mode, and we are doing a gingerbread village challenge. And that is really what it sounds like. You're making gingerbread houses, and we're going to put them all together into a collaborative village. So as the month goes on, it will grow bigger and bigger, and by the end of the month, there will be a whole village of gingerbread houses made of cardboard, so we're using recycled materials that'll be here in the museum, so kids can build them, leave them to grow the village, come back and see the village later. It's really going to be fun.
This is awesome, and we're going to switch back around this way, because again, we do have Craig's just showing you all the robots here with his camera, but so we can really show you an inside look. We want to do these a lot more often for you guys, and just to give you an idea of what you can experience if you come to a location, or if you come to a certain event. We want to show it to you, and that's why we're bringing it to you live here. I'm bringing Kate back over, and just want to wrap things up here for a little bit. So first of all, I know we've got some winter breaks coming up in a couple of weeks. Do you still have spots for camps? I know that's something that parents often, they're like, oh no, what am I going to do with my kids?
Yes, we do. So we have winter break camp before Christmas and also one after Christmas. And the themes are makers camps and math and bots. So we're really focused on preventing any, like kind of how we talk about summer learning loss. Winter is a shorter time, but it's still that important time when they're not in school. We want to prevent that learning loss and really have fun, engaging things that focus on those STEAM activities.
Awesome. And any specials right now going on with the holidays coming up that parents, they could come in or...
Yes, absolutely. So we are very excited to announce that we are expanding our classroom and programming space. But what that means is in order to have that extra space, we are sadly downsizing our store. So that means in the coming weeks, you will start to see discounts on all of the merchandise in our
Good
store.
timing.
It's great timing. So come on in, stay tuned on our Facebook page for what the discount schedule is, and come on in and get those Christmas presents. from the store. We've got toys. We've also got some really awesome designer bags that have lightning bolts on them. So for all those lightning fans out there, there's a lot of really cool stuff, and you're going to get some really amazing discounts in time for the holidays.
So other than gingerbread houses, what else is coming up that we can get really excited about and share? So I know I cut you off a little bit there earlier on what's happening here at the museum.
Oh, okay. So, we've got a lot of really great things. If you're into Harry Potter, then you definitely need to check out this really exciting event we have. We did another one a few months ago, and it was wildly successful, and we had so much fun with it. And that is a sorting ceremony dinner. But this one is a holiday feast, and it is, I'm talking a feast. So you come and you sit at the banquet table, you enter through platform 9 3/4, you get sorted by the sorting hat into your house, and then you sit with your house at this feast. You witness potions demonstrations and all sorts of other really fun stuff. There might be some surprise performances. So if you're a Harry Potter fan, this is a special evening ticketed event on the 16th that you really can't miss. It's going to be such a wonderful holiday tradition. This is our first year doing it at the holidays, and I think it's something people are going to want to do every year.
And a lot of firsts this year for you guys. It's just fantastic. It's awesome. I'm glad to see that you're bringing in all these really awesome events for families to participate together in. So let's talk about how people can get tickets for this event and maybe for others too.
Absolutely. You can buy tickets at glazermuseum.org. And that is for our general tickets. You can buy memberships on there. You can buy gift memberships for someone else, which is a great Christmas gift idea.
Awesome. The gift of experience is always a good one.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's also where you can buy tickets for this event and any other events that we have coming up. You can also buy them at our front desk. So if you want to come in and check it out, you're more than welcome to do that. That's a great way to do it and get more information while you're here. We will have information about the new app on our website and also at our front desk. So when you don't need to do any prep in advance, you don't need to download anything, just show up to the museum and we'll have information here. It's not even an app, so you don't have to download it. It's really just a website, so you just put a link into your phone and then you can experience this customized narrative play throughout the museum.
Just for your child. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kate. We appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap things up that you really want people to know as they're watching?
While we're talking about the holidays, I'll just also plug our Downtown Countdown on New Year's Eve. I know I've got 2 young children, so
you don't want them up till midnight.
No. And while the whole Netflix on demand countdown is a good way to trick them, an even more fun thing to do is to come to the museum because we have every hour on the hour a balloon drop and huge celebration in the middle of the day, so the kids can celebrate during the day, and then maybe the grown-ups can celebrate that night.
Yeah, true, absolutely. Get the babysitter if you can find one, and you can. But they've already had their celebration. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kate. We appreciate it, and we hope you really enjoyed this experience. We hope to have more Facebook Lives just like this for you to come up to give you those inside looks and those sneak peeks. But come on down to Glazer Children's Museum. Geek Week, it starts today, and of course the Robotics Garage is going to be here. You got to come check it out. It's awesome. So have a good night, everybody. Bye. We got it? Yay.